what's the relationship here? Is she going to be the printer, or is it?
She
Or
is
what?
just the designer of the artwork. And my sister went to school for graphic design, and I called her and I said, listen, I have been asked to create a postcard for the town, and will you help me? And if your design is decided, you can use it in your portfolio.
Okay, so
Oh,
their question was, she's doing it pro bono.
yes.
So we can legally accept that, right?
Yes.
I don't see why we can't. No, we've.
Okay.
Yes, I don't see that as being an issue.
All right,
I just
beautiful.
thought she was doing more than just the design for a second. At least you made me wonder. And
Nope.
to
Did a
me,
fabulous job.
I think
Love
that the whole logo on that thing would be up to whether Tom can let us do that or not. And if he can't, then we have Morris, Connecticut without the logo.
Right.
I don't see where we
Right.
have to have the logo on there. But I
And
think
I was
in a
just
way, it's
trying
nice to have
to,
the
this
logo.
is Eileen Arbutus. I was just trying to create a postcard that I thought would catch the attention of the residents. I felt that the postcard sample that we were given from the other town was awful. That's just my
It was.
opinion.
Mhm.
Um,
I second that.
This was great,
thanks,
Eddie.
Ronnie.
It was great.
Motion carried.
And I really wanted to highlight like the picture of the cows. That's from my driveway. We had cows in my driveway. I mean, if you can't get any more Morris than that, I mean, come on.
Right, or the
Right.
four bears.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Polistes, too. They were big into cows.
Yes. So this would be one side of the postcard. It would be the glossy side. And then if the
Yes,
commission
before we get to the other
allows,
side,
let me show you.
we have a motion on the table that I don't want to lose sight of.
Okay.
Any more discussion on the pictures?
No.
I call the question. All those in favor of using the collage with or without Chuck, with or without the town's seal, with it if we can,
Yeah.
and with committee rewritten to commission, all those in favor of that?
I
Say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Gave it a little more time because I thought that wasn't slam dunk. But I like that too. Very good job, Eileen. And
Yes.
thank you to your sister. And
Three, thank you.
Tony, Tony's not back yet. But when Tony gets back, we have to remind him to check with with Tom about that.
Okay. So we
If
will have.
been here long enough, you know what I might have been thinking of when I said Phil.
And the committee, again, I just want to make sure is happy with the pictures that are in the collage. We have two of the Bantam Lake, one of the town hall picture, the town hall, Camp Columbia, cows, the tower, and the Morris community. It's just a collage of pictures.
I have a whole ton of pictures on my laptop from an old contest we had when we did the natural resources inventory. Do you want me to send you that batch for thought?
Sure. My sister is more than happy to take any input whatsoever. And I'm trying to pick pictures that are not politically motivated, if you will. At first I had thought to put like the "We Love Morris" sign, but I know that can be considered politically motivated. And I just want it to really get the attention of the residents so that when they receive this postcard, they actually look at the other side of it and fill out the survey.
I think it's
And
perfect.
it's something they might want to keep too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
know,
know
the White
that
Memorial
if
Rock or
I will keep
the
it
pavilion.
myself.
So we may have on Monday, we might have a vote on pictures.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to send me, Dave, with
will send you
the
some.
other pictures, I can send them to my sister and she can see if maybe she can change them out or whatever. My sister is a freelance graphic designer who was very nice in helping me with this, I will tell you.
Amazing job.
I really took, what would you say? I really took advantage of the whole sister card, if you will.
No problem. Because the thing I was thinking is we had the community hall sign and the town hall sign. You know, those could be expendable if we had a couple ones to replace it. I think it's nice to have the town hall in there. You want to have some of Bantam Lake. I like the cows. I like Camp Columbia. I like the tower.
Mhm.
You know, the rainbow is a nice touch. I'm very happy with this one too. And don't get me wrong, it looks professional too.
Yes,
I'm
it
back.
But yeah, I'll get you
really
those.
does. I am very fortunate that I have a talented sibling. So
Yep,
now
very-
let me share with you the back side of the postcard that
The back side of the
Veronica
moon.
and I had discussed. And it says the Morris Planning and Zoning Commission is working on a new town plan of conservation and development as required by state mandate to be completed every 10 years. We are asking that every resident in the town of Morris complete a survey to provide their thoughts on how Morris should progress over the next 10 years. This quick survey can be found on the Town of Morris website, and I provided the website. Please complete the survey by, and we would have it be 30 days out from when it is mailed. On the Roxbury, they actually spelled out the entire SurveyMonkey website, and I found that to be cumbersome and awkward.
Very.
I think by having it us pointing everyone to the Town of Morris website, not only is it going to drive people to the Morris website, but this way it is easier for them to type in and we don't have to worry about people putting in the wrong address. And then I put in there like the first paragraph out of the survey. The information gathered will be used to prioritize strategies to achieve the common town goals of our boards, commissions, local businesses, organizations, and of course our residents. Grants available to the town of Morris cannot be awarded until the town plan has been updated. We appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts on this quick survey. If you are unable to complete the survey online, hard copies can be obtained by calling the zoning enforcement officer at the phone number that Tony had given us. It might be a little wordy. I might be able to
Excellent job.
bring it down a little bit. Who was that?
I think it was Katie.
Oh, hi, Katie.
I think I'm not.
I'm like trying to figure out whose voice that was.
That would have to be Katie. It didn't sound like Veronica.
Hi,
No, it wasn't
Katie.
me.
How are you?
Hi, Eileen. How are you?
Good, honey. So I'm not sure, this might be a little too wordy for the back of the postcard. The next portion of the postcard I was going to present was the quotes that are received for printing of the postcard. So
Let's
Can I make
Eileen,
one
let's go
comment
on.
before we move on to that?
Yes. I'd
absolutely.
like to add, this is Dave Wig. I just want to step in for 1 second since you're back, Tony. Number one, we selected the collage postcard option,
Okay.
and I may have some pictures that we might swap out that I want to share with her. I'll copy those to you too, just so you have that for the record.
Okay.
And the question is there a copyright on the town logo? And if so, Eileen's sister wants to be able to include this in her portfolio. Therefore, she would need to have the rights to have that logo in her portfolio. So we need to check with Tom as to whether there's any copyright on it, and if what legal issues there are with that, if any.
When I feel like they used it on the postcard they sent about COVID, I'm pretty sure.
It
But that
doesn't mean
came
that
from
it was
the-
done
yeah, that-
correctly.
Yeah, I just want just want to make sure she needs to dot her i's and cross her t's on that part.
Sure, I'll ask Tom tomorrow.
Yes, and if possible, this is Eileen, if you could ask him to send me a JPEG of the logo with the town seal with Morris, Connecticut. That way we can make sure that the postcard will come out correctly.
Sure.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay,
No
and
problem.
let's go back to the back. And because if nobody else has comments on it, I do have at least one comment.
I also have a comment on the back.
Sure.
Well, let's
I
just start.
love the
I
comments.
don't want to hog the
I
conversation.
feel like the first paragraph, the second paragraph are good. I feel like maybe we shouldn't include the third one and just have 1, 2. Yeah, don't include that one. I feel like that's what adds, I think, to the wordiness. So I understand why you're putting it, is so that maybe, people try to do the survey, they're more, wanting to do it, but that's just my suggestion.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Though it is giving them a prompt to be like, hey, you're not going to get any grants to better your town.
I would want to know that.
thank you, Bill.
Maybe
Thank you,
combine
Dave.
it up top.
That's why we added it, because, Tom's kind of honest to get this done, and that's the reason, because we can't get anything until we get this done.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
you're right.
this is Eileen. What if we were to remove this sentence and just say that grants available to the town of Morris cannot be awarded until the town plan
Mine-
has been updated?
It's fine
I
with-
personally would rather remove the grant sentence because I don't think that has a lot of meaning to most town residents. And actually, the other one is probably second least important on the list, but that one sentence at the start of that paragraph is much more to the mission of what the town plan of conservation and development was. And I know when we were doing this, 15 years ago or so, because that's how far we were behind the last time. It took us 5 years to put this together back then.
Oh my
Um,
Lord.
We were told that it really didn't make that much of a difference to the town, that we don't get penalized if we don't have it, and it just, as long as we're working towards that end. Tom seems to feel that he loses out on grants. That may be true. I did not know that to be the case unless we just didn't do grants back in the early part of the aughts. But I'm all for removing the whole paragraph altogether if that's
Okay.
the best solution.
I mean,
So you're saying, David, this is Eileen, David Wick, you're saying remove this entire paragraph or the first paragraph?
The paragraph you have highlighted. The
I
first
see.
paragraph is critical.
Okay. Do we have a second to the motion to remove the third paragraph?
I'm not making a motion. That I think should come from the board. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I see. I'm sorry.
And I'm the chairman, so even though I was called the dictator the last time. I
You're
was
very
chairman,
diplomatic, David.
no.
I know.
I don't think I am. Anyway,
all right, so you need me to make this motion, David? I'll make a motion to remove the third paragraph back of the
Right.
post.
I'll accept the motion, but I have one comment. I need you to make the motion that you feel is what the motion that you want to make, because it's not me, it's you. And between you and everybody else on the board, we come to a better decision if we all speak our minds and come to our own conclusion.
Sure. I mean, I
And-
just wanted to be sure, if you guys think it's too wordy, we tried to fill up a little bit of space because we took so much out that was in the Roxbury. Like, send us all your photographs. What a nightmare that
Oh,
was.
I know.
I mean, I would never.
So
Go
this
ahead,
is
please. I just
Eileen.
want
I
quickly,
just
like-
wanted to say that the Roxbury postcard asked for pictures and for feedback, and in my own opinion, I felt that that was just asking for
Order.
Oh, sorry.
Order. Did you hear me when I'm knocking on the phone?
Yes.
I did.
Oh, yes.
That's why I stopped
Okay, good.
talking.
That's from now on, that's me striking the gavel. Not that we have a gavel, but I need a second to the motion so Eileen can configure I need a second to Veronica's motion so Eileen can continue with what she's saying, please. Is
Well,
anybody
A
going to
second.
second? Thank you, Katie. Go on, Eileen.
I don't even know what I was saying.
The picture.
It was just too wordy. Short and sweet.
This is Eileen. My opinion is that the sample that we were given by Roxbury was very wordy, and in my opinion, asking for people to submit pictures for the planning document, we were just opening ourselves up for a lot of issues. If we didn't choose certain pictures or we did choose pictures, it would have been very messy, in my opinion,
Agreed.
especially given the political climate that we have here in Morris. I don't think that we need to add any pictures to our plan.
Agreed.
I agree.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed? Abstentions?
Dell.
Motion carried.
I liked it, but hey, not that it matters. But
thanks,
Are you
Del.
abstaining or no, or what's your vote, Del?
I guess it doesn't matter for an abstention, but I
You can
would
say no. It's
have to
You're
okay.
abstaining?
vote no,
I know.
No?
but
Okay,
you
that's
win.
fine. I have no issue. I mean, I have 2 yeses and 1 no.
Yeah. So
I mean, at least I heard 2 yeses. Do I have any other no's yet?
Oh,
Dave,
sorry.
where's your vote?
Where are you, Jeremiah Jr.?
I don't know. There's a couple changes. I don't know. You have 10 years in there twice. Just a couple little notes. I'm rereading it. But we're already postcards it. Why aren't we just mailing out the survey to them directly? I mean, we're doing
The cost of mailing
Yeah.
a 5-page document or 3-page document versus the cost of mailing a postcard.
and they take it on when they go on the websites. They're going to go through the Survey Monkey, correct?
Yes.
Honestly, when I fill something out, if I'm hearing that we're going to save money or get more grants, I probably more likely to fill it out than not fill it out. I'm just looking at it the other way because I got my census. I haven't filled that thing out yet.
Oh my God, David, you better
Dave.
fill out that
Better
census.
fill it
You're
out.
awful.
I wasn't saving any money for the town yet, so I didn't. I don't know.
So are you going to vote no? And we make it a tie?
I know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I prefer, like you said, Dell was saying the same thing. I'm constantly rereading it, and I see the word 10 years twice there. Just a couple
Okay.
things. You can shorten.
This is Veronica.
You know?
David, how
So
about in
I'm
the
going to take that as a no vote, Dave.
No vote.
let's change
And
one of them to
let's see.
decade. There
Katie,
you go.
do you have a vote?
Yeah.
Maybe
I was
we
gonna
should,
say,
this
the
is
decade.
Eileen, maybe we should say,
Well, Eileen,
as
order.
required by state mandate to be completed. Oh, I'm sorry, David Wig.
Yes. Katie, do you have a vote?
Yeah, I'm rereading this as well too, and I see the 10 years jumps out at me twice, yes, but I'm also thinking that maybe yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Dave. Like, if I see like the word grants, like grants to me is like, hey, like our town could get X, Y, and Z or whatever. So I feel like people might be a little bit more, I don't know, apt to do something with the postcard when they actually get it, not just use it as like a coaster or throw it in the trash. So, which would be a very pretty coaster, and I wouldn't want anybody to do that. But I'm also thinking maybe like in that first paragraph there, make those 2 sentences, like have that first sentence, just that one sentence. And then the second sentence maybe can be mushed in with the second paragraph because they talk about the same thing. Like they're mentioning that survey. So you're moving from one topic to the next in that first paragraph. So maybe rearrange it that way.
this is Veronica. Katie, what do you think
Hey,
about?
Order, Veronica. We're voting. And so I take that that's a no vote, Katie?
Yeah,
Or,
correct.
okay. So let's say the motion's defeated. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Go on, Veronica.
Oh, I'm sorry. Katie, what do you think if we moved the part that says this quick survey can be found and please complete it to be the third paragraph and move the information gathered up underneath the first paragraph? Would that make sense to you, maybe?
Or, and David created a very strong argument for keeping grants in there too.
And in the first
Because he may
paragraph,
not be the only person who would react that way.
how about in
You
the
know-
first paragraph, it should say should progress over the next decade. So it doesn't say 10 years twice.
Yes. That's a very good idea, Veronica, over the next
Yeah,
decade.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A decade for one of them, they won't notice. At least I wouldn't.
Perfect. Decaf.
I also wonder though,
Separate that paragraph, yeah, the information, tab it down so it's a separate paragraph.
yeah. Yeah, that was gonna be my thought there.
Yep, there you go. I think that's better. You're right, Katie, because it flows better. You're reading, you're not jumping between ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just has better flow. I agree. It's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it too.
So I make a motion to accept the verbiage as presented now at 8:27 p.m. Does anyone, for the backside of the postcard?
Thank
I'll
you,
second
Eileen.
that.
Do we have a second?
Dell.
Dell, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Oppo-
opposed? Abstentions? I'm calling that unanimous because I don't think we had a no on that, did we?
No.
No.
Not
me.
that I have anything against no's. Actually, I don't know, a few of you, I don't know if any of you heard me talk about this man whose wife came before us recently because she's selling that property behind Dollar General that's off of Route 63, this man,
Yep.
Chris Pulowski. He voted against probably half to two-thirds of any motion ever made in the time that he was on the board. But I have a lot of respect for him because he was not parading for some political opinions other than his own, which were
Yep.
pretty libertarian and pretty radical. And he forced us to talk about things and think about things and make a better decision most of the time with his dissent. So I have no issue with that. I think it makes us a better board if we actually think about what we're doing. It takes a little more time, yes, but all right, prices.
So this is Eileen Nerbuis. My action item, besides having to come up with the EDDM from the post office, I spoke to Anne at the post office and she directed me to the post office website. And this would be the price to have the postcard automatically put into every mailbox and post office box. So I pulled up 4 different places. The one that the Beach and Rec was using that I was suggested to look at, they're only for emergency, so I didn't want to bother them because it seemed like they were only doing it if it was dire need. So I have the 4 here. These are all EDDM eligible, and the EDDM means that we can have the post office put them in every single mailbox and post office within the town of Morris.
Cool.
So we have 4 different. We have PS Print, total $345.32. UZ Marketing, as suggested by Kevin Curry, as $289.65.
$200 is a pretty good price. Wow.
Yeah, uprinting.com, $373.38, and mycreativeshop.com, $201.48. Now all of these are plus shipping, and the shipping runs between $30 and $60 depending upon how many postcards there are. But they are all, I feel, pretty reasonable.
It's Veronica. So the number plus the shipping, the number is just for the printing,
Correct.
or the post office to also, or the post office, how do we pay the post office?
So the post office needs to be paid either online or in person, and
Okay,
it
and
would
that's
be the
separate from
same
each one.
amount based upon the number of households.
okay, and that's totally separate from this part.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was reading it right. Thank you.
Well, looks like you're more cards for your buck for My Creative.
Yeah.
By far.
Well,
Now, according to the post office, as of yesterday, we have 1,052 households. I think she said it was 42 or 52.
Yep.
I was basing it on 1,250 just to be on the safe side. And most of the printing companies don't allow you to go down to the exact dollar amount of households, so you have to round it up.
It's Veronica. If we got the 1,500 for the lesser price, even if we had extras, we could leave them places,
right.
like Poppy's, the barn, the restaurants. We could leave some at the library.
Mhm.
So when somebody's picking up a book, they could pick one up or.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have any experience with any of these 4 companies?
This is Eileen. The company that we were referred to by Beach and Rec are closed right now because of COVID-19. Based upon their Facebook page, they are only doing it by emergency need only. My opinion, a planning survey does not constitute emergency.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree on that. So we have no experience with any of these 4 companies.
Correct.
Did they say turnaround time?
Where are they located? Are they local businesses? Are they,
This is Eileen. They are all online businesses located within the United States, and the majority of the timeline was within 10 business days.
Well, unless it comes in Mandarin, that's no brainer for, I would think.
200 bucks for 1,500. I go with it.
Mm.
well, are there any ratings anywhere that we could look up to know the success, failure rates of these?
Like any reviews or something David talking about?
Yeah.
This is Eileen. I did not look at BBB reviews or reviews online. I looked at 20 different vendors online, and I chose the 3 to 4 that were the most less cost, as well as provided the best customer service that I saw, and would be able to send us the postcards in a timely fashion, as well as allowed us to upload our own images.
Hang on, I'm looking it up on the BBB
Yeah,
website.
I only have a couple reviews on the beat on that one. My Creative.
Oh yeah, this was not a good review.
3.5 stars, 7.3 out of 10. 2, yeah.
One bad, one good.
I do like the idea of 1,500 postcards, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, the number is good, but now you got to worry about, like you said. How about Vista?
I just worry about
Does Vistaprint still do
delivery.
This is Eileen. David Jeremiah Jr. I did look at Vistaprint. However, it was very expensive in comparison to the other 4, as well as the website didn't seem user-friendly as far as uploading images and creating the text on the back side. And I had problems finding the direct mail through USPS eligibility.
Okay.
Well, if we got scammed, it would only be for $200.
That's true.
It's
So
not
are we ready to make a decision?
$100,000
here?
Ponzi scheme.
You
Are we
know,
ready to make a decision here? Or not?
there was a gentleman we see, Murphy Boys Marketing. He's local.
Ooh,
I can call him tomorrow. I forgot. I used to do him years ago, but I don't do postcards. And he used to work for Sir Speedy.
yep.
Speedy. So he went off on his own, and he's local. I'm actually looking him on Facebook because I know he's one of my friends. And I was just looking up.
You know
There's,
what though? If he's local, let's check with him and see if we can throw some local business.
Dennis
The
Murphy.
only, I think, but isn't the key point is the EDDM eligible, correct?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can always.
Yeah, but I have no issue with that, Dave. I mean, we don't have, I don't think we have to make a decision on this one. It could wait till Monday.
Okay, I'll give him a call in the morning. I'll just ask him.
So this is Eileen. I spoke to the post office the day before yesterday, and as of then, there was 1,045 households. But they did say that varies day by day, so I was basing it on 1,250 just to be on the safe side.
Yes,
Got it.
I agree with your, a minimum of 1,200, 1,250 is, I agree, is the requirement. So I think we're gonna not make a decision on this tonight.
So this is Eileen. I make the motion that we
Table
push
Monday.
off the determination of the printing company until Monday for the Monday regular meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that. It's Veronica.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Cool. Let's get back to the agenda. Complaints.
All right.
Wait,
So let
Dave,
me
did you
stop
guys,
sharing.
Did
Oh,
you guys
yes.
vote for the survey or?
I am
Oh,
done
yeah,
sharing.
well, we've got to look at the survey. Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You want to put the survey up?
I got you. Yeah, I can do it.
Thank
So
you,
this
Tony. I
is
forgot about that.
Eileen. I'm going to take a bio break. I'll be right back.
Not a problem.
Okay.
We still have a quorum without you.
Okay, perfect.
Well, we couldn't have gotten started without you either.
Okay,
Well, we
so
couldn't have gotten this bit done, I should say.
so I sent Jocelyn Ayer from Northwest Cog the edits we made, and then she changed everything we asked her to change, and now the survey is complete. Then this is the beginning. We all, we agreed to this last time, so you guys want to just read it over quick?
Yep. Okay.
Next.
I can move down.
Next.
Just capitalized everything.
I mean, is this on, maybe what we should do is,
It's online, isn't it? I think it's.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the town website. It's with the agenda. It's everything.
I saw. Yeah.
yeah, maybe what we should do is rather than going through all this right now is we should all look at this and individually send any comments or edits to Tony, and then he can make the edits and compile the comments, and we can go over it freshly at the next meeting.
Okay.
I don't think 3 business days is going to make that big a difference.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think that's a good idea.
if we're not gonna decide to get the postcard, then yeah, it's not a big deal either way.
Well, I think we're going to get
Yeah.
the postcard. I guess we think we haven't
No,
decided.
I'm
the
saying
method of
decide to do
delivery.
it today, so it doesn't really matter then. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I think we can afford the 3 days. I think Monday is,
Yeah.
we'll have one other item on Monday, which will be the barn, 5 Watertown Road.
Okay. Well then let's
Yeah.
not worry about
Print
that.
it and
And maybe we should just
those-
quickly work through the complaints here and then,
Yeah, I can go through them fast. Just there's not much to add. Can I start?
yes, go ahead, Tony.
Mhm.
Dollar General's the same, nothing new. There's nothing outside, so that's good. I can take it off if you guys want. I can leave it, whatever. It's up to you.
Let's take it off
Good job.
a month from now. Leave it on well, actually, no. Let's take it off. Let's look at it a month from now,
Okay.
and we'll just skip over it on Monday. We'll not do complaints until next, a month from now, I should say.
Sure.
So 30 Anderson Road, any horses? We don't know yet.
Well, 30 is the junkyard. I haven't reached out to the guy because Bob didn't give me the number, but nothing new there. It's the same, so we can just.
Gotcha.
And then Bantam Lake, I emailed her lawyer to see if he wanted to come to one of our meetings in the future. Very formal, nothing too crazy. So.
I would hope that with COVID-19 distancing that place will be up and going on the 20th much more steadily than it is today, but hopefully not to the point that it's going to be an issue. But
Yeah, no.
maybe you want to reach out to him and add the fact that, if they've gotten that we probably might want to review 2 plans as whatever they consider as their COVID-19 plan and their post-COVID-19 plan. That we understand that the 2 might not be that different and maybe they can survive what they have today with the COVID-19 plan.
Yeah, that sounds
But
good.
we still
Yeah,
have
I
to know
mean,
what to
if he
do with
mails
the
me back,
overflow.
I'll mention that.
What's
But the
449
bottom line, we
Bantam?
still-
What's yours?
Yes.
Because that's another one of those pre-existing non-conforming uses but this one is, I think the only question would be to reach out to somebody like Tom or Lisa who know what the Banmore was like to really understand how intensive that usage was when they were actually there.
Okay.
Just a better budget.
Sure.
Do you have any more pictures or anything on 221 South Street? I know you included
just
a
the
lot
same ones as last week, so I'm not gonna go over them. But I don't know, Dave. Do you want to talk about it 220, or we just move on? Kind of.
Well, I will just give some background on 221 South Street. As I once added that this was a result of a ZBA decision that gave a man a nursery, basically a nursery operation that we felt did not have enough acreage, the 3 acres required for having basically a farm use, a nursery use, but I think that was really tied back to a farm use. At least that's how it was framed when we made that decision. But ZBA overturned that, and he opened up his nursery business, and that didn't survive. And then somebody bought it who managed, like collector cars, and he would repair them, and not a very intensive implementation of it. Then somebody bought it and wanted to sell cars. And at one point it had a 5-car limit, and we upped that to a 10-car limit. One thing we should dig up on this, in addition to what you've dug up already, is, and I think it's in the files here, I'll give back to you, that is the original conditions of approval when we added cars and like that to the property. Then in the packet here, the other thing you might want to include would be the map of the property and the hand-drawn map that maps out where the parking is and where the cars for sale are.
Okay.
And then there's also the legal opinion by Steve Byrne, because what happened in early '08 is that we had them make a special exception application to expand their usage, but then Steve Byrne came back with an opinion, and Bob Paradis and Bob McIntosh were also on the board then, and they can add something to that if they're at the next meeting when we discuss this, and their perspective on it. And that basically stated that you can only have one use on the property, not two uses, and then we're adding a new use was what the special exception was. We even had a pretty detailedly crafted motion that was made that was defeated, and eventually we followed what Steve said and denied the application, and he issued a cease and desist that initially that the Board of Appeals upheld, and that eventually the Board of Appeals overturned. Oddly enough, but I don't think but anyway, that then and now they've basically been running without any supervision over the past 10 years or so. 9, that was actually 11 when that was, the cease and desist was vacated by the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay.
But I think we need pictures to better understand, and so everybody can, and I'd say if you have a chance to drive down Route 61, you should do so.
All right.
And I don't want to get into detail on E right now either. I just one thought, Dave, is that, that's a light industrial zone. If we have an established use on that property, we should probably see a special exception application. And that would be probably the easiest way so that we can make sure that we find a way to blend that into the neighborhood and not make it stand out as low. I guess it does kind of blend in with the 221 South Street property right now. Is that, at least is my concern from the glance I had recently. I don't want to dwell on it any longer. And then now we have the horses on F, which you don't have an update to that, right, Tony?
I haven't seen it. So that's what my update is on that. I have not seen the horses on the property, or the horse. I should say.
Understand.
This is Eileen. I drove down Anderson Road today and I didn't see any horses.
He might be away. Isn't he away or something, or working somewhere else? So he might have boarded them somewhere else.
Who knows?
Probably.
Well, that's what he should be doing, but that's good. Anybody have anything else to add on any of these?
No.
Nope.
Okay. 7, other business. Since we're putting that packet together, Tony, how much more effort to email that to all of us would it be? I know we wouldn't get last minute additions that you would upload, but
The packet for.
that's on the website.
Oh, you want me to email that to everyone?
If that's not a big effort, that's all.
No. As long as I mean, I send it to the clerk. I can just send it to you guys too.
Thank
So yeah,
you.
that's fine.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I
If you
send it
could,
to.
please.
Yeah, I'll just copy you guys onto that. That's fine.
Thank you.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
I'm not trying to make work. It's just, it's a
No,
lot
that's
easier
fine.
to have a link on your Word document and click on it. And
Mm-hmm.
at
I
least when you
agree.
sent me the Word document today, that made it very easy. And, actually, if there's an easy way to get that link into a text message or into the body of the email too, that would be also nice. But as long as we have that and have all the information
Okay.
in an email, I think that way we have a chance to review it and at
Okay.
our leisure before a meeting.
Sounds good.
Because number one, we don't even know when it's up on the website.
Yeah, I mean, it depends when I do the agenda, and then it might not be on until the day before.
I understand. Just as long as
Hey,
it's not the day up.
It's Veronica. While I'm thinking of it, before I forget, when you send Eileen and Tony those pictures, can you send them to all of us, just so if we see one that we really
Okay.
think outstanding, we can bring it up for discussion?
Or email Eileen offline, even though
Yeah.
you really shouldn't, in response to that. And I didn't say that, even on my
Okay.
tape.
I don't know what you're saying, Mr. Wick.
Recording.
We're all zombies right now. I have no idea what the
Let's
hell I'm
go to the
doing.
videotape. Communications and bills. Anything to add? Tony?
I don't really have a report. I didn't write one out, unfortunately, because I don't know. I guess I was lazy, but I guess I can say that we've had like 5 or I think 6 applications the last month and a half or so. Mostly a little shed, a little garage, so nothing too extreme. And then of course the 94 Slab Meadow is kind of a bigger one, but that's basically.
Nice.
And do you keep this information on a
Dad?
spreadsheet or in a Word document, Tony?
I have I have a list of permits I issued, and I write them all down after I issue them or whatever. So I do have them. Yes.
It's basically a paper list.
Yeah. It's typed up, but yes, it's a list.
Oh, it's typed up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could just take a picture of it or attach that in your email, that'd be useful.
Okay, I can send that.
That
sure.
way you can communicate it out. And instead of doing a big formal report, whatever you do have on paper would be useful to have.
Okay.
This is Eileen. My suggestion, and this is just from someone who has been working from home for years, any information that can be provided quickly is very appreciated. So that way the person has the ability to review the information, and so anything that can be provided sooner than later is definitely something that is acceptable in my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you, Eileen.
Also, I just want to mention one thing, Dave. I just like there was just one bill from Steve Byrne. It was very small, $200. So that's and
Could
there's
you put that in the packet for Monday so we can vote on it then?
yeah, I can do that. But didn't you guys a long time ago say if it's more than $750, or I can?
Oh,
put it.
that's what the number is. Okay, no, if we've already said that, then yes, go ahead. Just
Okay.
thank you for letting us know.
Yeah,
Sign
so
off on
it's. I mean, I'll tell you guys there is one if it's more, even if it's less, just so you guys kind of know. But
Yeah.
So this
That's
is
where
Eileen.
having a
For
report
the
comes in
purpose
handy.
of meeting minutes, this will be addressed on Monday, or should I address this in this meeting minutes?
No, Tony, basically what Tony was saying is that we had passed a motion some time ago to put a dollar limit. If it's over a certain amount, then it comes to us. If it's under a certain amount, he just pays it and tells
Okay.
us.
Perfect.
And he told us. He paid it.
Beautiful.
and our budget's looking pretty good, and we only have what is it, 2 more months, and we'll have. It's good.
Until the postcard gets mailed out.
We'll still be.
Do we have a budget drawn up? Do we have a budget drawn up for this year already? That's in front
Yeah,
of.
me and Bob already kind of did that a little while back.
Can you send me that agenda, the Excel spreadsheets, and so I have that in my records too?
I will
So
send
in
you
case
that.
I'm
Sure.
still doing this next year, or I hand it off to copy Kevin on it too, so he has that.
Sure. Yeah, I'll send whatever they voted on. Yep, that sounds good.
All right.
Cool.
And then I don't think I have anything else to add. I did talk to Tom a little bit about doing in the future if some of us are out of town or whatever, so we can try to have people come in through Zoom. But he also said we'll probably have to wait what happens in the state legislature or from the governor. So we don't know yet, but for
Right.
now we'll do Zoom. For the foreseeable future, we have to do Zoom anyway. So
Understand. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep your pulse on that. If your finger on that pulse there, please.
of course.
On that.
All right.
Okay, number 9.
And We have no public left, but thank you for adding that. That always used to be on our agenda. I think
Yeah,
it should
sorry,
be there.
it kind of disappeared. It. Maybe
No,
it
no, I
was
know.
maybe it was the lack of enthusiasm by our public.
There's a lack of enthusiasm among some board members, it seems sometimes too, but I really appreciate everybody making the effort to get out here tonight and attend. We had a good meeting and we didn't leave people hanging. I really appreciate your being here.
Hey, no problem. You know
That's
I'm
what
down
we're
to-
here for, public
Maybe
servants.
at
And
heart.
someone has to make the famous motion to close the meeting.
I, Eileen Arbutus, make the motion to close the meeting at 8:55 p.m. on May 6, 2020.
Well
David
said.
Jeremiah.
Go
Hi,
for it,
Veronica
Pamela.
Florio. Motion.
Good
This
night.
is Chairman David Weed saying thank you, and all those in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Armity.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried.
Later,
Later, guys.
deuces.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.